video, we are going to look at 7 arguments against using to-do lists, and I'm going to offer you some solutions to overcome those challenges. But tell me, before we continue, how do you make sure you get done what needs to be done on a daily basis? How do you control your to-dos and make sure you still achieve your goals? Also, while you're at it, click that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let's delve in. The first argument against having a to-do list is because people put large, not well-defined, vague tasks on this to-do list. And the solution is break the tasks down into smaller action steps. I agree, putting one big task such as write a book on your to-do list will be very difficult for you to get to, and you're going to feel overwhelmed and just postpone and procrastinate. But if you break it down into smaller, manageable steps, that's a brilliant solution to tackling this argument against having a to-do list. The second argument against having a to-do list is that it becomes overwhelming, specifically if there's too many items on the to-do list and one just does not know where to start. I agree, this can really become overwhelming, but we also have effective techniques to deal with overwhelm. And the point is that without a to-do list, won't you feel even more overwhelmed when the balls are starting to drop on the floor? We have a nice video about this on the Productivity Top Tips playlist on the Research Masterminds YouTube channel. Argument 3 says a to-do list is rigid and inflexible. It doesn't have to be. We can learn to adapt and to the changing needs, and it's something to be aware of. And I agree, if you're going to make a list that is rigid and inflexible, it is going to intimidate you a lot and you're going to not achieve your goals the way you should. But as humans, we can easily learn to be adaptable and adapt to the changing needs of the situation. So I would encourage you to be aware of this problem and adapt where needed. The fourth argument against having a to-do list states that there's a negative effect of the uncompleted to-do lists. The fact that you feel unaccomplished by the end of the day when you haven't done all the to-dos that you wanted or set out to achieve for that day. Now, we all know that we forever underestimate our abilities and the time it requires to complete a task. And even today, I will put 16 things on a to-do list where I only have maybe 5 hours available to complete them, and I only get to finish 3 or 4 of them. So we've got a brilliant video that addressed this on the Research Masterminds YouTube channel on the Productivity Top Tips playlist. And it explains a solution to setting reasonable expectations for your to-do list. So add all your to-dos onto a list and then go back and remove the ones that you are not going to be able to complete today. And that's now assuming that you've already removed the unimportant, not urgent items. So it's also easy to consider, and there's a way to get around this. Argument 5 against to-do lists. Importance and urgencies are not always reflected, and that is the truth. We often don't consider these in our to-do lists. Not all tasks are made equal. Some needs to be automated, some needs to be delegated, and others should just not be done altogether. So the solution is review your to-do list in the light of importance and urgency. Use the Eisenhower matrix, or you can use the Moscow method, or the 80-20 principle to review your to-do list. And you'll find some helpful videos under the Productivity Top Tips playlist on just exploring these techniques a little bit further. Argument 6 against to-do lists says that we tend to just look at our to-do lists and then grab the easiest task to do them first so that we can get that dopamine rush. Yes, I agree, we are all guilty of that, because doesn't it feel brilliant to just tick it off? But there's also a way around this, and again, we need some awareness. And in Brian Tracy's book, Eat That Frog, he explains this very well, where once you've made your list for the day, choose the thing that is the most difficult, the frog, and eat that frog first, not literally. But tackle the thing that you've postponed the longest on, the thing that you really feel daunting, and you'll know which item that is if you look at your to-do list. And that's the solution to not just ticking off the easy tasks. Complete that more difficult thing first thing in the morning, and then reward yourself with a few quick dopamine fixes by ticking off a few easy tasks. And lastly, we get to argument number 7 against having a to-do list. And that says that a to-do list hinders intrinsic motivation. And at this point, I promise you, I just don't have a solution. If you have your to-do list, you've considered importance and urgency, you don't have any unimportant, not urgent items on there, you've considered and made sure that you are aware not to be rigid or inflexible, you are tackling the most important and the most difficult thing first thing in the morning, I'm struggling to understand. And maybe you can leave a comment in the comment box below this video to tell me, what do you understand how to-do lists can hinder intrinsic motivation? And if you agree 100%, tell me more about it and also give me your solutions. What other thoughts do you have around having to-do lists? We would love to hear your thoughts, and our community always learn from these comments as well. One last thing before you go to fix that to-do list and make sure you remove all the unimportant stuff. Check out the Research Mastermind Success Academy, an awesome membership site for postgraduate students working on a master's or doctoral research project. It's a safe place with live workshops and helpful content and an engaging community, all of which will allow you to develop your academic skills, stay motivated, boost your productivity, and complete your research project with ease, and still give you some time to enjoy the good things in life. Follow the QR code on the screen and find a link in the description box below this video. In this video,